let's see if we can get it to work this time. So, I've tried this so many times. This has got to be it. What is it I'm trying? Who am I? Why are we here? Hi, my name is Jay, and this is my attempt to video log the experiences of going through yoga teacher certification. And today was my first class. I'm going to the Open Doors Studio in Duxbury, Mass. And I'm doing the Yoga Alliance teacher certification. And I wanted to document it because this is a major direction change in my life. And I thought maybe it will be helpful for some other people. And that's what I'm doing. So I had intended to do multiple videos, one before every class, one after every class, and I wanted them to be unscripted and unedited and raw. And I've had a whole bunch of problems getting that to happen. But that's all behind us now. We're great. We're going to just record this. It's great. It's great. So why is this important to me? Right? You're going to have to figure out your own reasons as to why you're watching. But what am I doing this for? My whole life I've been involved in a different line of work. I've been a loudspeaker engineer. I've been involved in hi-fi and home electronics in some way for over 20 years. And it was great. I had a lot of time. I had a lot of good times. I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of experiences that I cherish. But off on the side, I've always been really physical. Mountain biking, climbing mountains, hiking and camping, and martial arts. A lot of time on the mats. And I don't want to keep trying to fit that stuff in around a career. I want a different career. Before this, I left the loudspeaker industry. I went to a little company called Portal.io. I did some work for them, and I did some videos for them, and I decided I really liked creating content. And then I went and I started my own company, and that got destroyed by COVID-19. It's a very strong word, destroyed. COVID-19 did a lot of damage to everything, right? The pandemic wiped out a lot of stuff. And my business was one of them. Which is fine, because I don't want to do that. I know that now. 3 years ago, I thought I did. 2 years? 2 years ago. A year and a half? What's time? I don't know. I thought to myself one day, I was on a Marco Polo with a friend of mine, and I said, wouldn't it be great if I could be paid to teach yoga? And then I thought, why not? I go to a yoga studio now. I pay somebody else for me to do classes. Why not make that investment in myself and in the community around me and try to be part of those people teaching, you know? Does that make sense? It's out there now. So I scraped up the funds, and you know, I have a really supportive wife and community of people around me, and I started class today. And I expected it to be a really transformative, intense experience. I expected to learn stuff about me and learn stuff about the universe, and, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on. I didn't expect to have my mind blown the first day in multiple ways. And yet all of the ways were also connected. And it's been a really intense couple of hours. And you couple those experiences and figuring out these experiences with this burning need to make a friggin' recording that's of reasonable quality so I can get it on the web. It's been a foolish bit of strife. Unnecessarily difficult is what I'm trying to say. A foolish bit of strife. I wanted uncut videos. This is what I get. It's good to be able to laugh at yourself. So, what has blown my mind? As a beginner, you get into a class and you go and you do a yoga flow, and it's like 75 minutes. You get all these different moves and all these different postures, and you do all of these different things, and you sweat a whole bunch, and everything aches, and you're like, holy smokes, and I just did yoga, and it's great. And then as you get going, you learn the pieces of the postures and how each posture works, and you kind of trying to move around, right? You learn that a sun A, for example, is made up of down dog and flat back and reverse swan dive, and a sun A is made up of all these different pieces. And so it goes like this. A yoga flow is made up of a whole bunch of sun A's, and other poses. And sun A's are made up of individual poses, like downward dog, but downward dog is made up of individual movements, and those individual movements have individual movements of their own, and you can keep going. You can keep going for a long time, like all the way to laying perfectly still. But then when you're perfectly still, you've still got breath. So you can break your moves down and down and down and down. And it's really intense. It's really crazy. And then I learned, well, we started talking about these other things. We had these icebreakers. What is a cherished memory that you have? And I have this memory of this time when I was hiking in the Pemigewasset wilderness, the Pemi Loop. And I had gone there, and there was some bad decisions made by me and another party, and I had to bail on one of the peaks. We hiked in for one day, we hiked out the same day. And I was really sour about that in a major way. And a year later I returned, and we did it in the opposite direction. And when I broke through the tree line and I could see the summit, that same summit that I bailed on a year before, I flipped my lid. I'm covered with chills right now. It's an amazing experience when I hit that site and I ascended that peak. It was a point of failure the last time I was there, and this time it was triumphant. And every time I think of it, I'm struck by how good that felt. Our instructor, her name's Radhika. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Update later when I pronounce that correctly. She said, one of the things you can learn in yoga is that feeling of elation, you could feel like that all the time. What? Wait a minute. Whoa there. And so I said, wait a minute, are you telling me that this feeling of elation, it's not a destination, but it's a state of mind? And she said, yes. And I said, so that suggests that there's something beyond that. And she said, yes. And I said, wait a minute. That's a bit much for me to handle right now. I think I'm just going to leave that alone. And she said, okay. And she went on as if nothing had happened. And I'm still like flipping my lid. It occurs to me that just like you can break every single yoga move down into its component parts, you can break everything down like that and figure out the hows, wheres, whys, and wherefores and whatnots and so on and so forth. But it's a lot to ponder. It's a lot to think about. I don't know. Maybe I won't get anywhere with any of this. Maybe everything I say is blazo-blaz to you. You know? Blazo-blaz? That's my shorthand for balsamic vinaigrette. Don't ask. Yeah, it's, there's a lot to consider. There's a lot to think about, and now that I finally got a video done, I still have to post it on YouTube. Do I really want to do that? Listen, I'm just about to 10 minutes, and that's long enough, okay? An unedited, unscripted, uncut 10 minutes of me? I don't think I'm that entertaining. So I'm going to try to keep the videos a little bit shorter after this one, maybe a little bit more on point. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. It's a raw vlog of just whatever happens, right? So, thanks for watching. Maybe stick around, because it's possible it gets better. But I mean, really, how can this get any better than it already is? I've said too much. I'm out of here. I got things I gotta go do. Thanks for watching.